Welcome back, learners. You know that we are studying chapter 14, water. Today we will learn many more facts about this chapter. So let's start it. You can see the heading, it's water cycle, and have a look on the next heading, disappearing trick of water. So water plays a trick. It get disappear. So let's explore how and why. Students, you have noticed that water spilled on a floor dries up after some time. It's very common. The water seems to disappear. Similarly, water disappears from wet clothes as they dry up. Water from wet roads, rooftops, and few other places also disappear after rain. So, where does this water go? It's very easy because you all have studied this process, that is evaporation. Because of evaporation, the water get disappear. Actually, the water turns to water vapor, and this process happens every time in our surrounding, because of which it seems that water is getting disappear. Students, water vapors so formed, they become part of air and we are hardly able to see them. Heating is essential to convert water into water vapor. Okay? So every time if water is going to convert to water vapor through the process of evaporation, some amount of heat is needed. So from everywhere, from fields, roads, rooftop, or any other land, water bodies, evaporation occurs every time. Now I will show you this picture. Have a look on picture second. Here we will talk about one activity which you can do and understand more things about evaporation. Students, you have to take two similar plates. Place one plate in sunlight and keep the other in shade. Okay? Now you have to pour equal amount of water in each plate. Now observe the two plate after every 15 minutes. Does the water seems to disappear? Obviously, after some time you will observe that. From which plate does it disappear first? If you will compare, the plate which is in sun will have more disappearance of water in comparison to the plate which is in shade. Okay? So, what is the source of heat for this evaporation? Students, for both the cases, the source of heat is the sun. Okay? But the plate which is in sunlight, that's getting more heat in comparison to this one which is in shade. So this is the reason the rate of evaporation is different. Now, during the daytime, sunlight falls on water in oceans, rivers, lakes and ponds. The field and other land areas also receive sunlight. As a result, water from all these places continuously changes into vapor. Okay? However, the salt of your oceans and seas that left behind, only water converts to water vapor. Now, however, evaporation of water is slow process. You must know that evaporation occurs every time, but you will never be able to observe that there is a change in a bucket full of water which you have kept in sunlight. Evaporation is slow process. You will hardly able to observe the difference. Okay, on heating water on a burner, the rate of evaporation becomes faster. So there you can see the water is converting to vapor fastly in comparison to the bucket which you have kept in the sunlight. So now you can summarize it as, if you increase the heat, if you increase the temperature, obviously the rate of evaporation going to be high. Now class, we will study about this thing, that is loss of water by plant. Plant need water to grow. Plant use a part of water to prepare food. Okay, here let's talk about what Bujo is going to tell. Have a look. Bujo has been reading about transpiration. He asked himself how much water is lost throughout transpiration by wheat plant that gave us 1 kilogram of wheat, and he found out that this is nearly 500 liters. This is roughly 25 large bucket full of water. So that much high. This is a new thing. So far we have discussed this in previous chapter, but let me tell you, transpiration is a process by which plant lose water in the form of water vapor through their surface of leaves and some other aerial parts. Okay class? So this must be clear to all of you. Now As I told you that plant needs water, okay, and this water is used by them for making food, but also some water retain in their different parts. The remaining water is released by plant into air in the form of water vapor, and this is the same process, transpiration, which I told you. Look, there are many benefits of transpiration. It helps plant to regulate temperature. Firstly, second thing, because of transpiration, plants are able to absorb water from their root because transpiration exerts a kind of pressure, a suction pull, because of which the water get lift up in the plant which are of average height, okay, which are not so tall. So there you can see it. Okay, let's explore more. Now you can see heading, that is how are cloud forms. So before going to that, let's have a look on Paheli's query. What's going on? Let's find out. Paheli has noticed few drops on leaf of grass on winter morning. Definitely you must have seen that. In winters, if you walk on grass in early morning, it is covered with some droplets of water. So from where does it come from? Students, these water vapor, they get condensed because of fall in temperature during night. The water vapor present in atmosphere, they get condensed, and these are the vapors which get condensed and formed water vapor, because of which you are seeing the grass is wet. Alright, so now you all have understand this thing. Look, the process of condensation plays an important role in bringing water back to the surface of earth. Now I will tell you the entire process, what happens and how clouds are formed. So students, as we go higher from surface of earth, water vapor get cooler. When the air moves up, it get cooler and cooler. At sufficient height, the air becomes so cool that the water vapor present in it condenses to form tiny drops of water called droplet. It is these tiny droplets that remain floating in air and appear as a cloud. Okay? If so happens that many droplets of water come together to form a large sized drop of water, so they are the large clouds. Some drop of water become so heavy that they begin to fall. These falling water drops are called rain. Okay? In some special conditions, it may also fall hail or snow. So this how rainfall occurs. Thus, the water in the form of vapor goes into air by evaporation and transpiration. It forms cloud. After that, it comes back to the ground in the form of rain, hailstorm, snowfall. Okay, for now students, here have a look. Bujo has noticed fog near the ground in winter morning. He wonders if this is also condensation of water vapor near the ground. Yes, that's true. So Bujo is telling you one fact. The fog you see near the ground during winter morning, that is also a result of condensation of water vapor, but it becomes very harmful when it mixes with smoke, and that time we say it as smog. Okay, fog and smoke mix together to form smog. Now class, we have studied this thing. Now onwards we have to understand this concept. Here on the second picture you can see rainwater flows down in the form of steam and river. Now we will understand the next topic, that is back to the ocean, and we will understand that how rainwater comes back to the ocean and help all of us. Look, most of the water that fall on land as rain and snow sooner or later goes back to the ocean. It happens in many ways. Let me tell you some of them. When snow in the mountain melts into water, this water flows down from the mountain in the form of a stream or a river. Some of the water that falls on land as rain also flow into some other streams directly, and then these streams or rivers, they will add this water to ocean. Most of the river cover long distances on ground and ultimately fall into sea or any other ocean. Okay, the rainwater also fill lakes, ponds in your locality. some part of rainwater get absorbed by the ground. Sometime you must have observed that when it rains everything is wet, but after few days it get dry because the rainwater seepage through the soil and it reaches to the ground and it helps to recharge the groundwater. Students, groundwater is source for many lakes. You draw groundwater through a hand pump or a tube well. Now the concept, we must know that the concern is about in some areas where there is no vegetation or very less vegetation, the rainwater flows very quickly. Okay? Because of that, the flowing rainwater also takes the top layer of soil which is fertile, and this is called soil erosion. There are few areas where most of the land is covered with concrete. This reduces the seepage of rainwater into ground, which ultimately affects availability of groundwater. So these are some concerns related with rainwater. Look, rainwater should recharge the water sources as well as the groundwater. In this manner, it will be beneficial for us. Now, students, our topic was water cycle, so we will understand about it. We have understand all the concept related with it. Okay, for now we know that the water brought back to the surface of earth by rain, hail or snow goes back to the ocean. Thus water from ocean and surface of earth goes into air as vapor, written as rain, hail, snow, and finally goes back to ocean. You can see there is a repetition. A circulation of water in this manner is called water cycle. This circulation of water between ocean and land is a continuous process, and this is the reason that water is present on our earth. Otherwise all the water would have evaporated and there would not be have any life on earth. All right. Rainwater recharges all the water resources present on earth, as well as it makes sure that water remain continue on our earth. So students, these topics we have covered, and in upcoming classes we will study more. Okay, keep revising. That's all for today.